Hi everybody, Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today. I'm tying this wee hot butt buzzer. It's a very popular pattern, very effective. A lot of folk think of it sort of as a early season fly, but in the warm weather it can be quite good. Lets you get deep, and you've got, you know, the silver cheeks to pick up the bit of light and all that. So it will catch you fish basically all year. So as always, I'll put a materials list in the description along with a link to the Patreon page that wants to support the channel, get you entered into the giveaways. You can see there, this is getting in the box that I'm working on, the buzzers and the stillwater nymphs. Alternatively, like the video, share the video, watch it all the way to the end, leave a comment below. All of that helps the channel to grow. Right, so I've got my hook and my vise. This is a size 10 heavyweight grub, full mil. I mean, you can use whatever your preferred grub hook is. It's B110, whatever. This is a size 10, but I mean, you can tie this from an 8 down to say a 14 or a 16. Now, to get the hot butt, I'm starting some Globrite number 4. And I'm going to start it and trim that there, just so it's nice and clean all the way down. And I'll get my rib. Some folk like to leave the rib out in this fly. I like the look of that wee extra bit of segmentation. So just catch that in. Oops. And I'm just going to let the waste piece be right at the back of the hook eye. And I'm going to just take this down, keep the rib on my side. I'm going to build this up a wee bit, keeping it nice and smooth. Just this is flattened out for me, right, because I'm tying left-handed, and it sits nice and flat. The direction that you're wrapping when you wrap right-handed tends to sort of cause things to cord up, so you might need to get a wee kind of flatten yourself. So we'll just come up. I've open spiral there. I'm no fussed as long as I've got a wee hot butt there. This bit's fine because it's got to be covered with thread. I'll just take that off, and then I'll start my black thread. This is just black uni 80. And then I'll come down about there. I mean, you can make it smaller, but I like a decent sized butt on this fly. I like it to kind of really pop. Have a really good hot spot. I'm just going to get everything covered. I'm going to touch and turns, and I just like to make sure that the black, obviously I've got a couple of layers of the red floss. You just want to make sure that that's as thick, or you could even go a layer more, slightly thicker before I start putting the taper in. So happy with that. So I'm going to take my thread up. See, that's about in line with the barb, right? The at the front of the hot spot. Spiral up and an open turn to the hook point, and then I'll get back to my touch and turns. I'll come all the way to the front, back again. Obviously if you use 6/0 it will fill up quicker, but you can also be struggling later, you know, at the head, and I know some people do struggle to get a clean head. But I'm happy with that. That's my body. I'm going to take my rib, I'll take a full wrap at the back. I'm going to come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where my thorax is going to be. So I'm going to tighten that up close so that I don't go thinking that I've got that extra wrap, right? But I'm taking one more, as I've said before. I like that extra if you look on my side, you can see I've got that wee extra wrap at the front, just so that my thread doesn't pull on the finishing wrap, and then I can go back and I'll just make sure that the thread doesn't go any further back than that wrap of thread, that wrap of wire. Sorry. Get that nice and secure, get myself a good clean base for the cheeks. I'm using a medium silver holographic. Okay. Tight one right in the side. I'll just hold it to your side. Just make sure, obviously my offside, that it's sitting where I want it to be. Now I've just tied it, it's a wee bit kind of wrinkly, so I've tied it so the wrinkled part of the tinsel is getting covered up and it's not going to be the cheek. So now it's just a case of battering on a thorax. If you keep that loop together, it kind of controls it. You know, it's not going to spring forward and be in your way like can happen if you use single strands. So I'm going to build this up, and I want it to be slightly more bulbous towards the front, but I'm no, you know, I'm not overly fussy. I just want it to be deeper than the cheeks, basically, so that the black's visible above and below. Fine. Now separate these. I like to do them one at a time. Bring it straight along the side. I'll let it sort of rest just in the hook eye. That's 2 turns, that's plenty. Make sure you don't twist anything. That's fine. The same on your side. Just drop that over. Right, you can see that's nice and straight on the side of the fly. Now, there's not really the security aspect, but I'm folding them back because it's got to give me a cleaner tie off. You could trim it and then try to get in with your thread and cover it, but if you fold it back, take a couple of wraps over, trim it away, your whip finish will cover the butts of the tinsel very, very, very nicely. It'll be nice and clean. You see that? That's fine. So just go back, clean that up. Whip finish. Nice and tight. Not too fussed about doing a second whip finisher in because it's got to get 3 coats of varnish. So first coat, I like the varnish to be nice and light. I thin it so that first coat can really soak in. And if your varnish is nice and thin, it'll flood around, cover that nice. Make sure you come down onto the back, get it on the hook, the bare hook. Plenty. A bit of fluff there. And if your varnish, is nice and thin, you'll not get any. You don't need to worry so much about getting bubbles or anything like that. I mean, you might still get a couple, but that's no bad. Use your needle, clean the eye. If you want, if you've got a wee scrap of feather lying about or something like that, you can drag that through instead of using a needle. That gives you a nice clean finish. But there you go. That'll get another 2 coats of varnish and it'll look like it looks now. Right, the finished fly is very, very glossy, very, very clean, and it sinks lovely on that heavy hook. Really gets down and definitely catches your fish. So I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If it was, remember to give me a thumbs up below, and I'll see you for another one. Tight lines, guys. Bye.